Well, hi there, Libra. How are you doing? This is Rena. This is your June 2016 General Horoscope. It's general because it's not focused on one particular subject, and it's also general because I am not dealing with one person with one particular birth chart and tuning into them specifically. So this is going to be probably something that may resonate with you a little bit, maybe a lot, but just to keep those things in mind. So I'm going to go very briefly through some of the transits that are occurring for you. In the month of June, there are some concentrations of energy. One of them is the ninth house, which deals with publishing and higher learning and what's the other things? The religion, a philosophical framework, foreign travel too. That's a big one. So I see that the polarity between the third and the ninth house is featured because you have Saturn, which has been taking up residence in your third house for quite a while. It's retrograding right now, but even when it goes direct in August, I think it's August 2nd, it will remain in the sign of Sagittarius until the end of 2017, I believe. So it's going through that house of communications and really kind of laying some sort of groundwork, if you're intentional about it, that is. So anybody who has any inkling of being a writer, with that third house, with that ninth house activated, if you haven't started something, you should really think about it. And definitely with blogging, because blogging can not only be something that really is appealing to people with the talent to write, but also it can be lucrative. So you can even look at it in terms of your career, and you don't have to do it just only, you may use that as part of your income stream, but definitely at least consider it, because with all that energy in, those two places, it can also deal with teaching, by the way, because the third house is for younger students. I think we would say K through 12, maybe, possibly. And then, the ninth house is the university level. But I don't know how that works out if the fifth house is early childhood education. I'm not sure how that works out. But definitely, younger or older students or both. Some people, they might work in an elementary school and, are adjunct professors, a couple nights a week or something, or even doing those online university deals. If that's something that you're already involved with, it may just be taking it to the next level, because the new moon is on June 4th, and it will be in that ninth house. And so, some of you may get an offer to teach from a university for the coming fall session. Maybe you find out that your travel plans have gone through and you're going to be traveling, and you might be combining it with education for some reason. Who did I mention that to? I mentioned English as a second language, and I was talking about somebody had something in the ninth house, one of the other signs. Mercury is going into this house on the 12th of the month. So you may hear something from a university even after the new moon, that maybe it's a job offer, maybe you have to sign a contract. Mercury can relate to contracts. Until the 29th, we still have this Mars retrograde. And, they do say about not starting new things until Mars is direct, which will be, at the very end of the month, obviously. So for those early weeks, if you had a job offer, I would not hold off on it if you couldn't do so, because you might lose it. That would be very foolish. But this is just to let you know, in case you like to time things out that way, that it's supposed to be stuff that, you've already started to go over those things. But, everybody's on their own divine time. So Let's not get too superstitious. Let's just, keep an eye open for any kind of potential snafus if you do have to do something ahead of that date. And on the 17th, Venus, your ruler, Libra, is going to go from the 9th house to the 10th house of career. So you can see that these personal planets, this new moon energy, how Mercury, it's all like conspiring on your behalf for your career ambitions. Because while Venus is in the 9th house, it's very favorable for those people that are trying to find the funds for travel or trying to make themselves look good when it comes to interviewing for a job with the university. You will have extra charm. And then when it goes into your 10th house, it enhances your ability to appear favorable to bosses in general of all stripes, and to also attract money to you. So, it's really a great 1-2 punch, let's put it that way. Especially if you are in academia, whether it be, I don't know if, third grade is considered academia, probably not, just university level, but any kind of teaching may be very favorable, or publishing, writing and publishing. Likewise, if you're in advertising, the 9th house relates to that as well. Mars goes direct, actually, speaking of Mars, getting back to that, in your 2nd house of earned income. So if you noticed in April, the last half of April, that things kind of slowed down in that department, you can start to see more movement towards the end of June. And this is because Mars has dipped back into Scorpio. It was transiting through Sagittarius, and it actually went back far enough where it went back into the previous sign. But eventually it will re-enter Sagittarius, it will re-enter your 3rd house, and that will give you much more ambition when it comes to those communication types of endeavors that you may be interested in and have already started. Because remember that Libra is an air sign, and air signs are all about communication. There's going to be a full moon in this sector, and that occurs on the summer solstice, or the winter solstice, I guess, for all you Aussies and people down under the northern hemisphere. I just, realized I've been pretty self-centered in that sense when I've been, talking about all these things. But so the 20th of June, and it will be 29 degrees of Sagittarius, the 2nd full moon in a month in Sag. And this is your communication sector again. Some of you may be completing projects. Maybe you were constructing a website or something like that, and now you're done. But it can just mean that a new opportunity opens up for you. Maybe something that you hadn't considered before just comes to light. Okay, I think I'm going to just start now with these cards. And remember, this is a general reading. I might talk about something with relationships, but it can also just be business, career. And you never know if some of this could be a combined thing. Sometimes I've been, with the general readings, just focusing on one topic over another and then going to the next topic, but it could be kind of mixed in. Let me talk about the recent past. Recent past is a star card. So it's possible that some of you guys, this wouldn't really surprise me if some of you guys have come through a difficult time and recently renewed your sense of possibility of hope. Because when I see the Star card, it's not just about believing in something that you can't see yet, or, you know, stuff like that. It really does seem to me that there might have been suffering that occurred in the past that has brought you to that point. Because I remember personally picking the Star card and it really meaning a lot more than it normally would have, because it was kind of like this affirmation from the universe that all of that suffering was, you know, for a higher purpose, and that's to kind of give a sense that you're always protected, that there's never a time when you ever should feel alone, or that you will not be taken care of. And very interesting that the current is the Eight of Cups. Now, we can say about the Star card, since it connects with Aquarius, if you look at the card, it is the water bearer. You know, it's like, if you think about that image for Aquarius, it's the same thing of the pitcher of water and stuff. Sometimes people think that Aquarians are water signs because of that symbol. But, you know, right off the top of my head, I think of a relationship, and I think of somebody who maybe didn't have the guts to leave and now does. They finally did it. And it took them to know that there was something to go towards. The Eight of Cups has a spiritual component, I believe. It's not just about leaving a situation, but because it's cups, it's really speaking to your heart, and I would say your soul's purpose. And so you're not just wanting to go through the motions, you're just done, you know. And in the context of the sign, you know, specifically of Libra, that comes about a lot of times, I feel, when you have been a little bit too compromising. And so you've given away the stores, so to speak. You've tried to accommodate yourself to somebody else's wishes. And, you know, the problem with that, obviously, is that then you don't satisfy yourself. But the other thing about that is that it builds up, and then eventually something just snaps and you just have to leave. Sometimes it can be very abruptly. But there's also the sense with the Eight of Cups that you're going towards something. It's not just leaving, which is usually not a good idea unless it's a very dangerous situation. You have to have something that you're going towards, you know. And a lot of people, they miss that part of it. And they're always like running away, but they never have a destination. It's just a reaction. And reactions tend to be very unconscious behavior patterns. They're not something you're deliberately planning out. And they come about from a strong, you know, trigger of emotions, not from using your intellect. And it's so funny talking to a Libran about this, because you tend to not be that kind of person where you're very reactive and just will do something abruptly without thinking about it. However, you know, everyone's human, and even somebody who is fairly detached can have a breaking point, especially if they're trying to placate another person constantly. The higher the message from the universe is the Six of Cups. So possible in a relationship, that could be saying, you know, life shouldn't be this difficult, complicated. Think about when you were a kid, when everything was pretty clear cut, And, some people have terrible childhoods that are complicated and suck, But I think about my childhood, and I think about the kind of emotions that were triggered, just the bliss of it. And the Six of Cups is about a sense of kind of pure joy, childlike feelings. It could relate to a child. So this may be saying that you did this for your child. You left a bad situation for your child. It can also, and this reminds me of somebody who was in a domestic abuse situation. And it was very hard, but they found the guts through their belief system to leave. And now they're realizing, they really did it for the child, first and foremost. Some of you may have a person from the past, specifically, I would say like a high school sweetheart type of thing, that you may be still hung up on, or you may know is free and you want to be with that person instead. For professional situations, for people on the job front, what could be happening is that you followed a dream of yours and you left a job. Maybe it was a very safe job, but it was a job that you were not emotionally connected to. And maybe you're going to follow the passions that you've had since childhood. And there's a real sense of, I don't know if destiny is the right word, but definitely a long-held dream, with the Star card and the Six of Cups right next to each other. Okay, so the hidden energy is the Ace of Pentacles. If you were, let's say you were with, okay, I was just thinking, I think I was going to tell you about the Aquarius, right? I just kind of went off. Before I move on, I just realized something. What I was saying about Aquarius is maybe some of you met an Aquarian, which is another air sign, very compatible, and you left a water sign. So that would be a Scorpio. I can't think straight. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And actually, overall, an Aquarius person or somebody with a prominent in their chart would likely be much more compatible with you. With a water sign individual, you may have had a lot of drama and it was uncomfortable, unpleasant, not peaceful. For the hidden influence, the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe there is this job waiting in the wings for you. Maybe there's some money that you're going to be getting in the near future. That is something you did not expect. The energy that is very plain to see is the Two of Cups. This is about reuniting. Now, if that other person was a water sign, maybe that person's getting back together with somebody, and that's why maybe they didn't tell you that they were seeing somebody. Maybe you've been seeing an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But somebody's reuniting with somebody. Or forgiveness. And maybe that you have the spirit of forgiveness because you've met the person that is right for you, and you don't need to feel resentment over, a person who might have cheated on you or somehow did you wrong within a relationship, because it was that very thing that they did that freed you up to find the person that's right for you. In a job sense or a career sense, some people may be getting back with a former employer. I would say especially if you're in the healthcare profession, anything with healing, which I would associate with cups, or, I was going to say psychic abilities. Some of you may have to make a choice, whether it be in love or in career. Some of you may have two things coming up. Maybe this comes up a job offer that, and you have this money versus your heartfelt tendencies, and so those are the two choices. The advice is the Ten of Wands, so it's all about a lot of work, a lot on your plate, and maybe it's just telling you that you're going to have that. I would say though that in any relationship, look at who is doing the heavy lifting. If you're in a relationship, and maybe you've gotten back together with somebody, make sure that you don't lapse into old patterns where you're doing a lot of the investment in the relationship, thinking about it, trying to keep it afloat, trying to get your interest going, offering whatever kind of activities. Make sure that the other person is invested in the relationship, because if they're not, it could mean that you're the one that is propping it up. It can indicate burnout, so be careful that you're not working too hard, which you may be, given this energy in your 10th house, and also when Mars goes direct. This may be indicating when Mars goes direct in your second house, it's going to be all systems ahead. I don't know if that's the proper phrase, but all systems are go. And so you may just be like seeing yourself with a deluge of work and responsibilities. It can relate to fire signs. It may be saying that you need to get in contact with a fire sign individual. If it's a romantic relationship, so an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, another element that's compatible to you. That there may be somebody that is either interested in you or that, you have the ability to have a good relationship with. The outcome is another Wands card, which is the Three of Wands. Very great for career and very good for love affairs as well. This is, career energy. Wands energy is very enthusiastic. It's very passionate. It's very creative. And so whether you're trying to come up with ideas for your business or you're trying to move ahead in a relationship, the 3 indicates expansion in whatever it is that you've endeavored to do, so business or pleasure. And so it looks like you're going to have good juju as an outcome. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great June. Bye.